We are currently in the middle of a launchpad war. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but we have Pumpfun, we have Believe, we have Bonk, and right now Pump is at the bottom of that list. Well, technically there's other launchpads out there, but for the most part, out of the big names, Pump is the lowest one. But let me tell you something. I think that's about to change because I've been looking at the Pump chart since it launched. It's been doing something very interesting. As the market has been bleeding, Pump has been holding steady, and that is called relative strength. It's a reason to pay attention. Right now, we've had a big dip in the market, but Pump hasn't dropped towards the downside. Instead, it's traded sideways, which means it's got more strength than most people think. Now, I understand that when Pump launched, a lot of people had expectations of the price going up, but that didn't happen. And guess what? That's completely normal. In fact, if we just go to the hype chart here, Hype is a great project. People love it. Everyone is championing Hype. There's a whole maxi ideology around Hype. But guess what? Let's look at the price action when Hype came out. Okay, because it came out earlier in the year. And if we take a look at what happened, we had a small pump, right? Great, 160%. But what happened next was an 80% drop to the downside. I didn't see the amount of hate coming out of the Hype crew that I see on Pumpfun on Twitter these days. So for me, I understand that when launches come, people are going to book their profits because they got in at a lower valuation. Maybe there's private rounds or whatever. Market makers push the price down to squeeze out the longs for whatever reason. Most times, launches of new coins tend to go down. So back to Pumpfun. It does not surprise me that people did not make money off of the Pump launch. Okay, a few people made some money. You had a 40% pump, great if you took profits, but most people ended up suffering for it. So my idea now is that Pump is actually going to come back based on what I'm seeing online. So if we take a look at this Dune daily dashboard where we can see daily buybacks, starting on the 28th of July, we can see Pump began making buybacks on their token. If I remember correctly, it was about 100% of the revenue made on their platform was being used to buy back their tokens. And you can see they ramped it up from 240 to 450 to 288, depending on how much they made that day. So you can see they're definitely buying back their token, which would explain why Pump is trading sideways. Now, here's what's more interesting. I've noticed since Pump has launched actually and bottomed that Pumpfun coins have actually been performing better than Bonk coins. And what I'm about to tell you is that I think there's a rotation in meta coming among launchpads. I think Pumpfun coins are going to be doing better than Bonk coins. And let me explain why. If we simply take a look at the leader currently, Troll, it has moved about 500% since July 22nd. And it was one of the first. But it was not the only one. I actually went to dig for coins launched on Pumpfun and noticed there was a trend. If we look at Aztec right here, Aztec was down at 1.8 million on the 17th of July and 2 million on the 25th of July. And it pumped 289% to date. Actually broke the all-time high today. And I mentioned this on my Telegram group, link below if you guys want to join. And I do think it's got higher to go as we start reaching 10, 20, 30 potentially on the market cap right here. And that's not it. We've got more coins actually making new highs. Jobcoin, for instance, is trending towards the upside. Hasn't broken all-time high, but there is a risk curve for these things. Currently, it's Troll. The next beta, the strongest beta I've seen is Aztec. We've also got this unstable coin right here starting to make new highs. We've had Wizard Gang, just a bunch of coins on the Pumpfun eco actually moving silently. Not many people have been talking about this. So what I'm beginning to seeing is a shift from Bonk coins to Pumpfun coins. And what's great about this is that we have another opportunity within this meta of launchpads to actually make 10, 20, 30, 40, or 50 X's off these meme coins as we shift from one meta to the other. So the competition has created opportunities because people have abandoned those Pumpfun coins, which has left them at ridiculously low prices, only for us to now have an opportunity to bid them. So what I'm looking to do now is I simply go on the Solana blockchain, I go to the filters, I go to the DEXs section, and I filter for PumpSwap and Pumpfun. Okay, I put in these parameters, $80,000 liquidity, 240 hours in age, and this is my parameters for market caps, 500K to 10 million. And then I search for coins that I'm interested in, coins that I can recognize by name that were popular before that I know might make a comeback now. So Wizard Gang was at 800K just 2 weeks ago, currently at 5.1 million. Trencher was very popular and currently sitting at $5 million. All-time high was, I think, 10 million. I think we could go past that with the new rotation coming around. Monkey, and another really good looking coin from a chart perspective. And then you've got all these other coins. So what I would be doing if I was looking for opportunities is just going through these coins and their communities and seeing if there's a opportunity there. So that's how you can take advantage of the rotation that is coming, no doubt. Now, another thing I want to mention is that there was a little bit of FUD and drama within the Pump and Bonk community. If we go to the Bonk guy's post here, he said that I've been reliably informed that the usual paid co-whales gang have been rallied to unleash coordinated FUD on Bonk. Now, when I saw this, I was wondering if this is true or not, and it just so happened that I began seeing actual FUD coming out about Bonk, which was hilarious. So I think he was right on this. I don't usually get involved in drama, but it was just interesting to see because I started seeing posts like this on my feed. Pumpfun is a flash in the pan, and Pump is going to come back and take and slaughter them. All the coins are unfunny, boring, bundled, and lame. I would have been okay with this first post, but the second post, all the coins are unfunny. I mean, it's not the platform that makes the coins funny. It's the people behind them, and people tend to use both platforms. So I don't understand this part. You know, I do think there is a little bit of bias here and FUD. Bundling happens on Pumpfun as well. It started on Pumpfun. So what I'm seeing here is definitely there is a bit of a FUD attack going on Bonk. And I simply do not care for either platforms. All I care about is they both give an opportunity. I do like Bonk a little bit more simply because it gives back to the platform instead of only being extractive. But for the most part, I'm here to make money, guys. That's the name of the game really for everybody. And over here, another post said a competitor of Bonk offered me 30K for a few tweets to FUD their ecosystem. So this is definitely happening. I'm seeing it, but that's fine. The point is that there is going to be opportunity within these two ecosystems. And what I think is actually going to happen, if we just go over here to the useless section, and we've had useless coin make an incredible run to the upside. And I'm not FUDding useless. I'm simply saying this needs distribution. It's had people make money all the way to $389 million market cap, and we've had no distribution. We're currently having distribution. This is our first big pullback, 39%, which isn't really much in terms of meme coin pullbacks. I think we're going to see at least a 70% pullback, which is going to take us to about 100 million. A lot of people might hate me for that, especially if they're invested in useless right now, but that is simply what I see happening along with what I'm seeing on the pump chart. I think a lot of the money is going to rotate from Bonk to Pumpfun because there is no loyalty for the most part in these launch pads. And there definitely is in the mo. It doesn't cost much to switch between these coins. So what I think we're going to end up seeing here is that useless is going to tank to about 130 to 120 million, while Pumpfun eats up the liquidity and volume. But the good news is that's going to create opportunity, because what's going to happen here is I think we're going to transfer from Pump to Bonk, Bonk to Pump. And this is going to create opportunities on each side, because as Pumpfun eats the volume from Bonk right here, the volume on those coins are going to start to dwindle and people are going to sell them for Pump coins, which means it's going to create an opportunity on the Bonk platform. Now, of course, the meta will always shift. I don't think it'll be simple as rotating between these two launch pads. We also have Believe, which is the ICM meta, which I think will come after the Pumpfun meta, but who knows, with Ben Pasternak, things might take longer than we anticipate. But I do have that meta as a possibility for taking over the whole thing and overshadowing Pumpfun on Bonk as it begins to eat market share as well. So we have a lot of different options and opportunities on the table. It's so important to look for the next thing coming up, because that's where it will yield the most results. Because if you were just focused on Bonk, you would have missed Troll as being a major winner in these ecosystems. So what I'm also suggesting on top of Pump is that the Believe eco, which is being completely overlooked, is going to take over at some point as well, because there are coins there that are not only utility, but more importantly, memes that are going to overshadow a lot of the Bonk memes as well as the Pump memes. But as for now, we're going to focus on what's coming up next, and that is Pumpfun. It seems to have the next leg up here with Troll passing $100 million. So once this takes over and Pump ends up catching up, we'll have a look at Useless and Believe as an ecosystem to bid on. But if you want to keep up to date with the content and the ideas here, make sure to subscribe and leave a comment. Let me know what you guys want to see. But for now, that is it, and I will catch you guys on the next video.